Welcome to Through the Lens of Astrology. I'm your host, Heather Arielle, and this episode is all about the new moon in Pisces that takes place March 13th at 6:22 a.m. Eastern Time. And you know how I love a new moon because each new moon represents a mini new beginning. And how wonderful are those? Right? We get this little mini new beginning each month. We get a chance to reconnect, right, to our hopes, our dreams, and says, okay, what do we really want to have happen in our life? So each new moon is a time to have crystal clear intentions. It's a reset. All right. And the energy to be embracing with each new moon. Yes, all of them we want to be thinking about going forward momentum. What are the plans that we want to set into motion? Projects, relationships that we want to move forward. But the energy that we want to be embracing will depend on the zodiac sign the new moon is in. So, this new moon is in Pisces. Piscean energy will be our best friend. Right now, if you want to know all about Piscean energy, I did an episode all about Pisces a couple of episodes ago. You can go to my YouTube channel and watch the video Sun in Pisces, the source of secret knowledge. And you can do a deep dive into Pisces, and everything I say in that video, you can connect to, and it will help you further manifest this new moon in Pisces. But just to do a little recap for those of you who missed that video. Pisces is the 12th and final sign of the zodiac. So it does represent the highest level of consciousness. It's all about transcendence. It is the least connected to the physical plane. So this is ethereal energy, right? It's time to dream. It's time to embrace a poetic expression of life. So it's a time, if there's anything creative that you do, this is a wonderful moment to dive into that. And it's also a wonderful time to meditate and do any type of spiritual activity, any activity that can help you transcend. And art and astrology and spirituality, all of those things help you transcend. Those are going to be really rejuvenating activities to do. Pisces is also water, and it's mutable. I talked about how it's amorphous, and so it's the shape shifting energy. And it's also incredibly empathetic. So it's a chance for all of us to open our heart center. Yeah, in really profound ways. We can feel so deeply because Pisces is universal love. It unifies us. And it's the type of love where, if you think of someone with whom you have a disagreement, well, even when they cut themselves, guess what? You will bleed. Yeah, that's Pisces. So we are all connected, and Pisces reminds us of this because we often, well, it's easy to forget with all the chaos going on sometimes. So Pisces is there to say, oh, yeah, our hearts are big enough to let everyone in. Yeah. There's enough love to go around. So that's a beautiful message of Pisces. It's also all about ideals. So it's a time to connect to our ideal ways of life. Now that could be think about your diet and say, okay, what's your ideal diet? All right. What's an ideal project you'd like to push forward? What is an ideal relationship that maybe you would like to start? Because new moons are new beginnings. So it's a chance to get something going on something new. So new moon in Pisces. Now, I always like to do during the new moons, I do my oracle card spread that I developed specifically to help manifest new moon energy. So I am going to do that with you here. And remember, by our collective listening, we form a group. So the messages I pull today will be for everyone listening. Now, if you want to do the spread at home, that will just give you an extra layer that will be even more personal to you. Because remember, with astrology, It is symbolic, it's cyclical, it's so deeply personal. You really want to be connecting with what does a new moon in Pisces mean for you, because you're going to get one every year. This energy constantly repeats. And so the more you can be present with it and know how you are interacting with it, the more you can manifest the energy the next time around. Okay, now before I do the oracle card spread, if you're following along with the 2021 Astro Planner and Workbook, it is on page 44 and 45. So for those of you who have that, you can follow along. And if you don't have it, it's actually on sale right now, 30% off if you go to ariellesastrology.com, Arielles astrology.com. Use the code planner30 and you will get the electronic download, which is a fillable PDF. I mean, this is 184 pages. It has everything. It's got a lot of astrological activities to help you connect with transits. It has all kinds of oracle card spreads, and it goes through January 2022. So you'll get so much out of it. Now, this oracle card spread, you do need my deck. I do a lot of oracle card spreads here on the show. Most of them you can use any tarot or oracle deck. The new moon is a special one because new moons, I just love them so much, and I like to bring in diverse energy. So that's why I created this one, so that no matter, I mean, uh, how we do it, we're always going to get an element, a modality, a planet, a house, a zodiac sign. It creates a more balanced, dynamic, nuanced approach because we really want to make the most of these many new beginnings. So, the deck that I'm using, all right, it is the Fundamentals of Astrology Oracle deck that I created with artist Tom Cummins. So to do this deck, you do want to separate the cards into piles. It's so easy though, because I color code them. So we take the four elements that have those beautiful peach borders and you put them into a pile. And then you take the modalities, the dark green borders, and you put them into a pile. And then you take the light blue border cards that are the planet cards and you put them into a pile. And then you take all the zodiac signs, and all the zodiac signs have purple borders. And then you take the house cards, the 12 house cards with the light green. So you're going to want to put these in those piles, those categories, and then we're going to pick a card from each category. All right. It's all about how can we make the most of the new moon in Pisces energy. All right. And here's the moon card. And with this, we reverse it because the reverse message is I can see clearly now. The fog is lifting. You'll soon have the answers you need to make an informed decision. Because a new moon is a time between a new and full moon. Remember, the energy grows, things become clearer and clearer, and then they culminate with a full moon. So that's why we reverse the moon card, because the moon can be very hidden at times. All right. So, all right, let's get right to this now. All right, so we are going to take an element. We're going to pick an element because that is going to tell us. And remember how we like to do it. This is about what is the element that that if we embrace, right, we will get the most out of this new moon. So it's saying over the next couple of weeks, as a group, let us make friends with this element. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Water. Oh, how appropriate is that? Pisces is water. All right. So if we want to make friends with water, this really is about feel deeply. We got to get really connected with what we're feeling. As it says, I second that emotion. Your emotions are awakening. Feel the full force of your compassion and empathy. I love the water card. That's what it's all about, right? When we feel, things really happen. We could, yeah, that's when we feel something, we're able to make changes. So our feelings are really, really important. Well, water and Pisces, it also reminds us, Pisces does, because of the water, there can be a little grief with Pisces, and it allows for healing. So if we're getting the water card, it's saying, let's make sure that we do all that we can to open our heart center and to put ourselves in other people's shoes, right? That's the empathy, to have that, and to know that, we may need some healing. And if you do a little check-in and you're like, no, no, I'm fine, well, someone else is going to need some healing. And also, water is love, love, love. Okay, so a new moon can bring love and can get that whole love ball rolling. So this is like the Ace of Cups water. So this is also saying, hey, we got a lot of love energy going on in our group. So I love the water card. Okay, now we're going to pull, all right, we're going to pull a modality. And remember, modalities, that lets us know what types of actions to be taken. All right. And Pisces modality is mutable, but we'll see the modality that we are being encouraged to embrace during this new moon. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, fixed energy. All right. Now, fixed energy is very, very strong. This is very passionate. And it says, hold fast to your dreams. You're capable of intense, prolonged, focused energy. Embrace your passion. You will triumph. And Pisces does represent the ideal. So, in that sense, connect to your ideal and pursue it, right? This is saying, have the stamina to go after what you want. Sometimes we peter out, we get exhausted. And by getting the water card with this, that's also saying, well, I mean, that's Scorpio energy. That's passionate. Okay. That deepens the whole message. But it's also saying the more we connect to how we feel, the easier it is to connect to our passion and make that emotional connection. And then we'll be off and running. Okay. Now, all right. Now we're going to pull a planet. All right. This is going to tell us the planet's energies to incorporate. And I love, I've been getting some messages from you all, and some of you are asking, oh, you're a little afraid to pull messages yourself because you don't want to get bad news. And so I wanted to say something about that, because the way that I do it and the way that I encourage you all to do it, there is no reason to have any fear. Okay. When you're developing your intuition and you're working with these, ask yourselves questions such as, what energy should I make my best friend this week? What energy, if I embrace, I'll bring more joy in, more creativity, or I'll have a more productive week, right? So you don't have anything to fear when you ask those questions. Okay, ask those types of questions, and just get comfortable connecting to your guides and connecting to spirit. Get comfortable making friends with your energy and incorporating your energy like that. And then I think the fear will dissipate. And several of you have asked me just to do a show on to help you all develop your intuition and things like that. So I will. A lot of times we have so much energy to cover. We have a new moon, or we have the spring equinox coming up. But I am going to do a show to really to give you some more ways, right, of how to develop your intuition and to get out of fear mode and to get into joy mode. That working with an oracle deck is just another way to bring you joy. That's how I view it. Okay. Which is a little different. I know, from everybody's a little different with how they use all of this. Okay, so here we go. All right, here's the planet. Oh my gosh, Uranus. Woohoo. All right. Uranus, the great awakener. Okay, this is really exciting energy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that means we got to allow for a little bit of a shakeup with this new moon. And Uranus is also its alternative healing modality. So be open to that. Even astrology falls under Uranus. And it's all about, uh, well, it says, electrifying energy surrounds you. Expect the unexpected. Woo, and embrace change. Well, that's great for a new moon. But that means we all got to loosen up a little bit. Okay. When we get the Uranus card, we got to say control. What's that? Because we don't have any. With Uranus, it is the wild card. All right. Anything can happen, and don't be afraid. We got to shake the tree loose sometimes, right? It's the beautiful great awakener, and just say, okay, all right, I'm ready for some electrifying energy. It brings newness and it brings new ways of doing things, and it's great for technology. Uranus is technology, so think about if you use technology, maybe you're going to come up with a new way to use technology, or you're going to get a new connection to it. So Uranus is, woo, we're going to shake things up over the next couple of weeks. This also means, yeah, get out of any rut. Like if you've been stuck in a rut, yeah, that's over. Even if you try, even if you try to stay in your rut, it's not going to happen with Uranus. So there just may be something really exciting coming in, a project, a person, something, and allow yourself to have that eureka moment, that epiphany. That's also Uranus. Okay. Ooh, this is a very exciting new moon spread for Pisces, because Pisces is so dreamy and it's not the most active. And sometimes we just meditate. This is a very exciting new moon spread. Okay, so the zodiac sign. What is the zodiac sign? That is going to really be of benefit to us over the next couple of weeks. I like to really shuffle. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. All right, Virgo energy. All right, Virgo really, it's all about, well, let's read the message. The world needs you. The world needs you. Honor your deep desire to be of service to humanity. It's time to leave your mark. All right, so Virgo energy, they are guardians of the environment. It's all, the highest manifestation is about finding ways to be of service to others, to the world at large. That's why it says the world needs you. It's the world really does, boy, need Virgo. And this is the sign of Regulus. I've talked a little bit about Regulus, and this is Regulus represents energy that is something that we should all be aspiring to. It really is the energy of saying, this is the energy that should be elevated above all else. Yeah, I know the age of Aquarius is a big deal. I talk about that. But Virgo and Regulus, we really need to be celebrating. These should be the celebrities, okay? People who are trying to elevate the consciousness of the planet, guardians of the environment, people who are of service. They should be our celebrities, because that's what Regulus says. Regulus is that energy of saying we should look at that energy and admire it, applaud it, and really try to incorporate it. Now, this also says people who resonate to Virgo energy. This could be your sun, your ascendant, your midheaven. All right. If you've got Virgo in your chart, then your services are deeply needed right now. And that makes a lot of sense, because we really do. We need so much healing, and we need so much healing right now. So if you have Virgo, it's time to step up, share your gifts with the world. Share your gifts with the world. And if you've been thinking of a way that you can be of service, it is time to implement your plan. And if you think you can help someone else implement their plan, well, then do that as well. Okay. Oh wow, this is very beautiful, a very beautiful healing energy. Okay. Now we're going to pick we're going to pick a house. So there are 12 astrological houses. Each house represents an area of experience. And I'm going to talk about the new moon in the different houses because that's another way to go a little deeper for you to get just to connect in a more personal way to the new moon in Pisces. Okay, so which house? Which house? All right. Okay, relationship change. All right, so the card says a change in status may be taking place in your most intimate partnerships. All right. So this is bringing focus. This is why I created this spread. So it includes one card from each category because then it can really help us focus on what's going on. This brings that 10th house. Now it is reversed. Okay. But we still look at the 10th house. So relationships change. These are relationships that you have that are public. These are definitely, if you're married, oh yeah, that's 10th house. But if you're partnering with people and everyone knows it, it's a public partnership. Yeah, even though that's 7th house, that comes here. This is a professional card as well, but this is saying there are changes now. They can be very positive changes. And you can, if you're thinking of going out with somebody, oh my gosh, a new moon is great to get that ball rolling. So you can start dating. Maybe you're dating and you say, I want to be committed. You maybe, oh, it's time to get engaged. It's, now, and it's also, but it can also be ending saying, you know what? This relationship, I think, has run its course and you're ready for that new beginning. So this is that you're going to end something, right? That can definitely take place with this. So then you can bring in something new. So when we look at these cards together, it's actually a very emotional spread. All right. Anytime you get the water card, there's tremendous emotion and feeling. So I would say our best friends right now are to feel deeply and be very sensitive. And you actually may need to be compassionate towards someone else, right? Because Pisces is such sensitive energy. The fixity says that it is time. We do need to be going forward. Do not give up when you get the fixed sign. Sometimes, as an inspirational message, sometimes it says, "Oh, you may feel like giving up," but it says, "Don't hang in there." Okay, there is healing energy. Now, Uranus is that wild card. So Uranus does say we got to stay really open over the next couple of weeks. And go ahead and embrace the changes. And that change, there is a relationship change. And it's a relationship change that may even surprise us. Now, I don't want people to be afraid of Uranus. Sometimes it's just a surprise and it's a wonderful surprise. So it is possible that the relationship change that's taking place will just be a delightful revelation, some kind of like, oh my gosh, okay, I didn't know you wanted to do this project with me or something like that. So new moon in Pisces, it is about pursuing the ideal and moving forward, right? So you have all that energy. It's a total green light to go forward. And because we're connecting to our ideals, don't be afraid of the relationship change, okay? Now, we are moving toward the spring equinox. It's just 1 week away. So that's a powerful, powerful new beginning that begins the entire Western zodiac. So something that I've talked about when I did the winter solstice spread. We are now in the final week. If you have not, between a winter solstice and spring equinox, it was the time to review, release, and renew, to look back over the year. And to go ahead and let go, if a relationship ended, if something happened that was very painful in 2020, it was really the time between the winter solstice and the spring equinox to let it go. You got to let that go, to then allow the new energy of the spring equinox. So this new moon in Pisces can be such a healing moment for all of us. Connect to our emotions Allow love, allow our heart center to expand, and allow, I mean, this is Ace of Cups love, okay? Allow love to come in surprising ways, and allow for the relationship changes that need to take place. So it's okay to let go of some relationships, because the spring equinox, you want to go forward so quickly. You just don't want anything holding you back. All right. So I think this was, I just love this new moon oracle card spread. I do it every month myself. So these messages are for everyone listening. I encourage all of you to do this spread at home. You'll get an extra layer. You'll get an extra beautiful layer just for you. Now, one thing I want to do, I just want to do something a little bit deeper. I want to talk about, okay, new moon in Pisces. What house is that happening for you? Because I got a lot of great feedback. I took you through. Sometimes I do this. So every time Mars changes signs, and if you missed that, I did Mars and Gemini. You can check out my video, the Mars and Gemini video that I have on my YouTube, Arielle's Astrology. And I take you through Mars and Gemini through each house, what that means for you, because Mars makes things happen. And I got a lot of great feedback about that. Thank you. And you all asked if I could do that more often. So I thought, okay, you know what? The new moon is a great time because it represents a mini new beginning. If you can find out what house that new moon is taking place, then that area of experience is going to be a mini new beginning. So I thought, okay, so let me take the new moon through the 12 houses. And there are a couple ways that, you know how I like to say, look at your chart, your natal chart as a clock, and go to 9 o'clock, and all you need is your birth time. It's worth it. Get your natal chart. Well, a couple of you have sent me messages recently and reminding me how popular apps are. And I just want, and Alicia, you even said I could use your name. I want to thank Alicia, because you let me know. You said, hey, you and your friends, you're using this app, and so you've got your chart, and but it's still a little bit tricky following all the symbols. And so one thing that you asked, you said, you and your friends are really comfortable with rising signs, and you said, can I talk about it in that way? And I so appreciated that piece of advice, and I thought, well, you know what, that's a great idea. So one thing that I'm going to do, as well as talking about it as a clock, because I do have my students, and that's a way for you to be learning astrology, which is really important. But I'm going to talk about the rising sign. And so if you don't know your rising sign, then you really will need to get your chart. And that's very easy. You can Google free natal charts, or you can download one of those apps, as Alicia reminded me, and plug in your information. And then it'll tell you what your rising sign is. And that is, you will need your exact birth time for that. So your rising sign is what starts your whole first, it's the first degree of your first house. The ascendant is the degree to which your sign is rising. So, okay, for this next part, you're going to need to figure that out. Okay, right. Now, okay, so, all right, so if you are Aries rising, then that means Pisces is in your 12th house. So this new moon is taking place in your 12th house, and that is the house that is connected to Pisces. This also means you have a natural chart. Yeah, if you're Aries rising, that's kind of special because that means you have a natural chart, because the first house really is connected to Aries. So it should be a little bit easier for you to connect to your energy. So the new moon in your 12th house, that is a very transcendent, sensitive energy. Definitely try to do some meditation, try to have some quiet time. You can have some profound revelations by quieting the mind with a new moon in the 12th house. It's a time to heal. There could be a wound exposed. There could be a little grief, some type of, look at your wounds, kind of think about, have you had a little hurt? Because this is the new moon that can heal you. Yeah. So connect to that energy and really allow the healing to come into your life with that, and embrace in some beautiful 12th house sensitive, metaphysical, uh, transcendent activities. Okay, and if you are Taurus rising, Pisces is your 11th house. And that is the house, I love that house. It is the house of your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Oh my gosh, your house of your friends, of organizations to which you belong. That is a beautiful new beginning in all of those areas. Seek out new friendships, really connect to your hopes and dreams. My goodness, Pisces is the ideal, and the 11th house are your deepest wishes and desires. Yeah, this is a time to go for it. Okay. This is a time to really connect with what do you really want to do? And then set those plans in motion. Beautiful. Okay, Gemini. If you are Gemini rising, then Pisces is in your 10th house. All right. The new moon in Pisces will be in your 10th house. Angles are so, so important. Okay. Angles make things happen. 10th house, that is your status, your reputation, your career, your marriage. All right, that is a new beginning. So that could be you have an opportunity for a new beginning in your career. There could be a new elevation where either you get engaged, married, or the new beginning, because it is in the sensitive Pisces, could be you go public with a separation or public with a divorce to say, hey, i'm I'm uh, ready for a new beginning, because it is your status and reputation. um, that's a very, very powerful house. Okay, if you are Cancer rising, then new moon in Pisces will be in your ninth house, and that is the house of foreign and foreign travel, of the highest levels of philosophy. So long distance travel, publicity, theater. A new moon there, you want to expand your horizons. It's a little bit hard to do the traveling, but read a great book, take a class. It's great for learning and teaching and being around people who are different from you. You can really benefit from people, get that other perspective. All right. We become very attached to our own cultural imprint. When our ninth house is activated, it's a chance to get outside of our cultural imprint, to remind ourselves, oh, there are so many ways to go about this thing called life, and to allow those ideas and different cultures to come in and inspire you. Okay, for those of you who are Leo rising, all right, that means the new moon in Pisces will take place in your eighth house. That is the house of joint resources, other people's money, unearned income. That can deal with things that are gifts, things that are inheritances, or the money you have with your spouse, or stocks, things that you get that way. It's also the house of sex and death and transformation. We want to remember that. We always want to remember the highest manifestation of a house, because we're always shooting. We're always shooting for the highest manifestation. Now, a new moon there is giving you new opportunities. And because Pisces is the ideal, you could get a great opportunity actually to uh, do something really smart with your money that makes you some money. But because Pisces is water and it's so sensitive, it can be you do receive money that is attached to a little bit of grief, and that is why it is connected to inheritances or a divorce settlement or something like that. But there is money, there's the option for real money coming in. Okay. Now, Virgo, all right, if you're Virgo rising, then Pisces is your seventh house, an angle house. That is your love house, your committed one on one partnerships. All right. A new moon in your seventh house, that really is a beautiful opportunity to begin a new serious relationship. So think about if you have someone in mind, that this is really that moment to reach out and bring in a new committed partner. And that can be a new committed business partner. That could be the beginning of a romance. Sometimes a new moon in Pisces in the seventh house, again, because Pisces is the ideal, you could have your eye on someone that you really think just rings. all the bells. Definitely rings, rings your bell, and just, you feel that, oh boy, that's the ideal. Well, guess what? This new moon in that house, new moon in Pisces, is a green light to go ahead and reach out to that person and try to get that ball rolling. That's a beautiful green light to pursue a new relationship that will incorporate elements of your ideal partner. Yeah, gotta love that. Okay. Oh, all right, Libra. For Libras, it is a sixth house new beginning. All right. That is your daily routine. That is work. That is health. So that you could find a much better way, an ideal way to get work done. Right. And look at your health. You may find an ideal form of meditation that just makes you feel fantastic. You may find an ideal diet. So look at those areas and really reach for the ideal for with sixth house areas. All right, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio rising. All right, Scorpio. That's me. Scorpio rising. Yeah, oh, this could be a good one. Okay, fifth house. Fifth house. I love the fifth house. Oh my gosh. New moon in the fifth house. Well, that is the house of romance. That is the house of self expression, creativity. That is such a fun house of socializing. All right. So, Scorpio rising. Yeah, this is a wonderful time to begin or to push forward a romance, yeah, or a creative project, or a really fun socializing event. All right, get your game on. I'm ready. Oh boy. Okay, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius rising. Then that means Pisces is on your fourth house. That's a very sensitive, oh my gosh, the fourth house. That is a foundational house. So you have a new beginning within your home. So look at your home. That is your immediate family, your ancestral family. There could be significant new beginnings in your home with your family that allow you for a foundational beginning. And it is Pisces, so sometimes there is, with the angles, there can be, you let something go in order to let something come in, and it's deeply, deeply sensitive. Um, but that's a chance for a new beginning with your home and your foundation, right? Look at your foundation, connect to what is your ideal foundation, and make steps to create your ideal home, right? To create your ideal foundation. Okay. Now, all right, Capricorn, Capricorn rising. Then that means Pisces, you're going to have this new moon in Pisces in your third house. And that is the house of ideas. And that's Pisces is such poetic, creative energy. There may be a creative project that you want to that you want to really publicize, get out there, right. It's also the house of your neighborhood. So there could be a new beginning with energy in your neighborhood, energy involving siblings, and your siblings or people you went to school with early on through high school. They might even uh, need you. They might need you right now because that new beginning, remember, Pisces is water. It's very, very sensitive. So open your heart center to your siblings and to people you went to school with uh, through high school, and really connect to your ideas in a poetic way, because this is a beautiful new beginning for some poetic expression. Okay, if you are Aquarius rising, then Pisces, okay, that's going to be on your second. That's going to be in your second house. So your second house is the house of earned income, and that's also the house of your self esteem, your values. A new beginning in that house, again, could be an opportunity that could bring you money. And it could be an opportunity connected to something Piscean, which could be anything creative. It could also be anything dealing with spirituality. And it also deals with healing and medicine. And actually, chemistry falls under Pisces. Yeah. So, doctors and things like that, hospice care. There could be, depending on what, if you're a caregiver, that's that is an opportunity for a positive opportunity for earning money. It's also, Pisces is a little shape shifting energy. So when you have a new moon in Pisces in your second house of self-esteem, sometimes Pisces creates a veil and is a little bit hard to see clearly. So love yourself, okay? Connect to your ideal, right? And know that you are ideal, right? You are divine. You are lit from within, and allow that inspirational Piscean new moon to remind you of that when it is in your second house. Okay, now Pisces. All right. If you're Pisces rising, well, okay, this new moon is going to be in your first house. And angles, that's an angle house. Angles they make things happen. And that's always especially powerful. A new moon in your first house. Your first house is your identity, right? That is your, not only your physical body, that is the energy you give off when you first meet people. It is a lot of your immediate personality. So a new moon there can be very public. So if you do anything that you want to receive publicity, well, that's a great time for that. It's put yourself out there, put yourself forward, and know that you can just express who you are more easily, connect to that, and it just gives a little limelight. So it's a little limelight to you. So go ahead and embrace that. So I want to thank Alicia again for, she gave me this idea, okay, because she said that she and her friends are using this app, and they're very comfortable with their rising sign, and that may be easier. So I thought, well, that's great. So I'm going to do this as well. Start talking about rising sign. And for those of you, if you're not really clear on your rising sign, just get your natal chart, and your rising sign is to go to 9 o'clock on your natal chart, and whatever zodiac sign is at 9 o'clock, that is your rising sign, the first degree of your first house. Okay, and the first degree is the ascendant to which it's rising. And the rising sign is so important. I talk about this. It really is part of our mission of why are we here? How are we really supposed to be going about things? Our sun is the consciousness, right? We always want to be illuminated, right? Whatever our sun sign is in, we do need to illuminate that energy and illuminate that house placement. The moon, we want to make sure we connect to our feelings with the moon. Venus is going to tell us how we give and receive love. And then Mars is our sex drive, how we take action, whether we're assertive, passive. And the ascendant really is a mission saying connect with your rising sign ascendant, right? Find out what your rising sign is. Because sometimes when we're not completely present with our energy, we don't realize how influential our rising sign is. When I talk to people, often I'll hear them describe their personality and they think they are describing their sun sign. But really, we over attribute personality characteristics to our sun sign, that and really what they're describing, some of the behavior, I would say, no, that's your ascendant. That's actually your rising sign. It's important to make that distinction, because once we have awareness, then we go deeper, we move faster. It's as if you're walking along and you're going along and you're going in the right direction. And yeah, sure, you will get to your destination. But when we have that awareness, like we may think, well, I'm pretty sure it's this way. Okay, so let's just go. I'm pretty sure. But then we start to see the sign. This is, oh my gosh, yes, we are absolutely going in the right direction. What happens? Well, we tend to walk even faster and we get there faster. And that is why it's so important to become present with your energy, to get your natal chart, to know what is your rising sign, to know the energy on each cusp of your 12 houses, because then you can so easily follow transits as I talk about them. And then you'll know your sun sign. You want to know the big picture, because then it's just so much easier to manifest and to make things happen, because that is, your chart illuminates your path. Astrology is so personal. And with all the jargon, we get lost in it, and it gets simplified to where it doesn't mean anything when you look up 3 sentences in your horoscope online, right? It is so deeply personal. Everything I'm trying to do in my show is to help you connect to your energy in a profoundly personal way, to make it your best friend, to realize that it's a beautiful gift you give yourself and that it illuminates your path. So that's what this show is all about. And I just, please give me your feedback. That was so helpful what Alicia sent to me. Um, just we all learn in different ways, and we're all different ages. And I know Alicia's in her 20s. And so that's a big thing, that in the 20s, these apps and all of that. So it really helps me, right? Because I really want to have that dialogue with you all. And I want to be able to convey information to you in ways that you can immediately incorporate that information into your daily life, immediately incorporate real healing. Real healing, so you can just have that instant manifestation. Now, one thing that I've not done in a while, I've done, some people have asked for some messages, so I have some regulars and they said, hey, I haven't gotten an inspirational message from you lately, can I have one? So I do want to give a few of those. Now I'm gonna have to, anytime I do the new moon spread, oh boy, I have to shuffle the whole deck because they're all in these categories. So I am going to shuffle this deck, and I'm going to give a few of my regulars because you've asked. And I'm going to do a Facebook Live. And so then it's going to be much easier for you all to communicate with me. Because some of you have also requested that. Can I do a Facebook Live? And an Insta Live, which I can't believe I'm going to be doing. So I am going to do all those live things, so then you can be asking questions and really have that personal connection. Okay, so Carolyn has been asking for a message for a few weeks. All right, here we go, Carolyn. I'm going to get you a message. All right. Oh, Carolyn. Okay, Carolyn, you get the Gemini card. So that means lighten up, have some fun. As it says, young at heart. Release your inner child and rediscover your wondrous sense of play. All right, this is time. I love the Gemini card because it says, you know what? We all get to have some fun. It's also very social energy. Think about Mars is in Gemini right now. So, make sure that you're taking those Gemini actions. Socialize, connect with people, and I happen to know that Carolyn's very musical. So Gemini is very musical. Maybe connect to your voice. And even though Gemini is really about beautiful speaking voices, it's also singing. It's very musical. So yeah, so I think connect to, I know how happy your music makes you. So connect with that. When you get the Gemini card, you definitely want to connect to your inner child. Sometimes we become so adult and we think that life can't be fun, right? And life can always be fun. There's always room for joy no matter what's going on, right? So connect to your inner child. And also this is energy, you may maybe socialize, reach out to people you knew as a child. This is that kind of energy, and sometimes siblings come into play with this energy. And it does represent ideas. The third house, above all, is the house of ideas. So make sure that you share what you're thinking and put it in writing often with Gemini. Okay. All right. So that was for Carolyn. All right. Now Jennifer, this is for Jennifer. Okay. Just want to shuffle because boy, when I do the new moon spread, they get in those piles and the categories, and I really want to kind of shuffle them up. Okay, Jennifer, here we go. This is for Jennifer. Oh, 10th house. All right, Jennifer. Career, 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 10th house. This is a time to move forward big time in your career. And the spotlight is on you. When you get the 10th house upright, yeah, the spotlight is on your status, your reputation, and it's very career. It's also, this is the marriage. Now, if with parents, with the 10th house, if your parents are still around alive, then you definitely want to check in with them. Okay. Because there can be changes in status. And sometimes you check in with mentors. Sometimes this card means even if your parents have transitioned, there could be a teacher or somebody who's older who would stand in for a parent or an elder, because the 10th house also represents elders and mentors and things like that. So you do always want to check in with them when you get this card. But this is really a green light professional card. And it says bring energy to this area as well. And the fact that you're getting this during a new moon, that there may be some new beginnings, a way to incorporate something new into your profession or something new into your marriage. Okay. All right. Now, Kiki. Okay. Yeah, I love that name. Okay, Kiki. And you've been with us pretty much from the beginning, and I really appreciate that. Okay, Kiki, you're going to get a new moon message. Yeah. Oh, Libra. Okay, Kiki. This is all about partnership, about collaboration. Embrace your assertive diplomacy. This is very forward momentum. It is a cardinal sign. And sometimes we forget how active cardinal signs are because we think of Libra and it's so beautiful and graceful and just balanced, but it has incredible individual initiative. But how do you get what you want? Well, when you have Libra, you use your charm. So, Kiki, your best friend over these next 2 weeks, your delightful charm, your wit, your grace. Just use your assertive diplomacy. You will get anything you want. Okay. This is saying this energy. And go ahead and collaborate with people and partner up and look at your partner. I mean, you got this upright. So, I think that your relationships are probably in balance. But even when I get this card upright, I always do a little checklist with my one-on-one relationship saying, let's remember relationships need to be equal. And if they aren't, let's use our assertive diplomacy to create equality, right? Because it's just natural. We're all, and I include myself in this, we're all going in and out of balance, and so are our relationships. So we just want to be present. When you get the Libra card, be present with your relationship energy. Look at your relationships. Do what you can to create equal relationships. And it can also mean, hey, with a new moon, you can create a new one. There may be a new one that you want to develop. Well, this is the green light for that. Okay. Okay. And we have Manish. Thank you, Manish. I know you've been a very you've been pretty active for a while now with us. So I thank you for that. Okay. I always appreciate your comments. Okay, Manish. Okay, Manish. All right. And thank you, Manish. You've been very active with us for a while now. I always appreciate your comments. And I know you've asked a couple of times for questions, and I just can't always sometimes get to them. But I'm going to do those. I'm going to do a Facebook Live and Insta Live. Okay, so I'm gonna answer all these questions and make sure, because it's so important. Okay, so this message is for Manish. Okay, Manish. Okay, Manish. Okay, Manish, you got the trine. You gotta love that. All right. A gift is yours for the taking. Just don't forget to open it. Okay. Oh, I love this. All right. That means when you get the trine, then you really want to take a look around. All right. Look at your environment. Look at the projects you're doing. Look at your colleagues. Look at your relationships. When you get the trine, and this is during a new moon, right? There is a beautiful present right around you that you're not opening. Okay, that's what that means. So you want to rip that bow off. That's what I always say. You get the trine, you rip the bow off. It's not just about looking at something beautiful and saying, oh, that's so pretty. Isn't that the prettiest package, most beautiful wrapping paper? No, it's time to rip that paper off and to use it. Right, to make a dream a reality with that is saying it's going to be what's inside of your package, as beautiful as that wrapping paper is. what's inside it is so much more beautiful. So don't be afraid to open things. Okay. Sometimes, when I do readings with people and they get the trine and I really delve and I try to figure out what's going on, I find out that they have an interest in somebody sometimes, or they have an interest, and they feel that it could be something so wonderful, but they're scared that by doing that, it's just going to all fall apart. No, the trine says that what's inside is even more beautiful than what's on the outside of whatever you're looking at, and to go ahead and rip that bow off. Okay, what a beautiful card to end the show on. So, I want to wish everyone just the most beautiful, restorative, creative, magical, ideal, and empathetic new moon in Pisces. Connect to your ideals. Just embrace the beautiful new mini beginning and get ready for next week for the spring equinox. Yeah, that's going to be a very dynamic, exciting show. And boy, that gets the whole ball rolling for the entire Western zodiac. So enjoy this next week. I'm so looking forward to being with you all next week for the spring equinox. That's our show. Until next time, enjoy and embrace transformation.